Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ellis County Commission meeting for September 3rd. All capable, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call roll?
Commissioner Neil Younger.
Present.
Chair Nathan Liker.
Here.
Commissioner Michael Burgess.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, the order of business. Changes to the order of business. We will be moving one item off of this week's agenda, the Whispering Gales Edition resolution. We want to make some more contact with individuals regarding that before we bring that to a vote. We will have one executive session at the end, I believe. Is that correct? Okay. All right. Prior minutes. Everybody had a chance to look through those?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Moving on to our consent agenda. Any questions or comments on that?
No.
I have none.
Okay.
I'll move to approve consent agenda items A through G.
I'll second that.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Consent agenda is approved. All right. At this time, we'll have any persons not on the order of business. Anybody from the public that wish to speak? Seeing none? Okay. We'll move on. Next, we have introduction of new employees. Jennifer?
Jennifer Taylor, Ellis County HR Manager, and I have two departments here with me today that will introduce their new hires that have started over the last month.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Aaron
Morning.
Cunningham with the Ellis County Attorney's Office. I think I'm the almost Ellis County Attorney-elect, but not officially yet. Mr. Anderson has decided that I should start picking up some of these administrative duties, so I am here today with our new hire, Josh Becker. Josh just freshly graduated from Washburn Law this last May, and he's been with our office since the beginning of August, slowly taking over Mr. Rutherford's docket, as well as portions of my caseload as well. And I guess with all that said, he is a product of the Dangy Hansen externship program. He clerked with the district court back in 2021, 22. And then as a graduate from Fort Hays State University as well. And beyond that, I'll let him introduce himself to you.
I guess I don't have much to say. I'm very excited to be in this position and look forward to the good I can do in the county.
Okay.
Great.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you. We both have 9 o'clock dockets, so we'll go ahead and take off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mike Liker, Ellis County IT Director. This morning I'd like to introduce Milton Guzman. Today is his first day on the job, so he will be our desktop support technician, So today's his first day. He's been in about 31 minutes. Did you have anything to say?
No?
You don't have to.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and move the Whispering Gales Edition resolution till next week, I believe, and reach out to more people on that. Moving on, road grader purchase. Brendan?
Morning, Commissioners. Brendan McKay, Ellis County Public Works Director. So
morning.
before you is the request to purchase a new road grader for out in our fleet. We'll be taking one that's currently in the field that's out of warranty and putting it into the auxiliary and project fleet and taking the 2008 machine from the project fleet and selling of that piece of equipment. So with that said, the Commission asked me to receive bids from another vendor this time as well as Caterpillar to show the public the pricing difference and to show the three of you the difference between the two machines. So there's an estimate or a quote from John Deere there and the quote from Caterpillar. The main difference is, I mean, they're both big and yellow, but each machine has its own patents on it. So the John Deere has no stacked intercoolers. So they're on the sides of the machine instead of stacked like Caterpillar is. They have a patent on that, so Cat cannot use that. Caterpillar has a patent on the control system. So the machine controls are the same between almost the entirety of the rest of the fleet. We have one machine that's not the same. With that said, there is a big difference in price. Portion of that is I had John Deere quote us what we had previously received from them in quotes and what they've been quoting to other counties and other purchasers. With that, they recommend their premium circle option. It's about a $13,000 to $14,000 increase if Caterpillar had an option that was similar. Caterpillar doesn't at this time. Basically, it eliminates the need for the shims in the circle itself. Instead of having a shim system and slides, it is like an excavator housing where the turn is. So you just have, I believe it's 4 grease zerks that you grease up and there's no shims on it. That's the big difference between the two. Both options came with the same warranty. John Deere did come with a $12,000 DPF and DEF warranty in addition to the 75 or 8,500 hour warranty that Caterpillar we don't need, because once the machine's at that point, we look at dispensing of that piece of equipment. Is there any questions between the two from the three of you?
No, I appreciate you going out and looking and bringing us all the information related. So I appreciate that. That way, as we do make our choice and this purchase, that everybody's understanding of all the work that you've done and that everything that's gone into it.
Yes, sir.
So it's not just a single option that's been presented.
No.
Yeah, that way our community knows, everybody knows that we are doing our,
When you have 14,
Research.
15 pieces of equipment, there's value to have the same manufacturer in that equipment for same controls. So that way any one of the operators can hop in any one of the machines and feel comfortable in the seat. Anyone can operate the other style, but when push comes to shove and they're in a tight area, you don't want them to default to the old control system and make a mistake or make something machine move the way they're not expecting and make a situation worse than it is.
while we're talking about this, maybe explain it to all of our county people about the new carbide blades that we're trying out and how the operator's liking them, so.
Correct. So we put one set of carbide blades. They're vastly more expensive than the hardened steel blades that we have been running on the machines. They're expected to last significantly longer to the point where they would be cost effective to run. So rather than upfitting the entire fleet with them all at one go, we bought one set and put it on a machine that's going to be in the most disadvantageous conditions for it. Just that machine is basically only in sand, and that abrides those cutting edges the most. We had it on there for almost 2 months and noticed about a 1/2 inch of wear in the center. This hardened steel edge would already be gone through at that point. So we were able to move those sections around and keep the machine going. There's some counties that have run them. I believe the one was reported to me at almost 1,400 hours, and they were still on that same carbide cutting edge. You're seeing 300 to 400 hours of life out of a hardened steel edge. So the 3 to 4 times the price is getting that same life.
All right, okay, thank you.
We're getting more for other individuals in the county and eventually move preferably all of our equipment to those carbide edges to make them last longer, provide good value for the product.
Makes sense. Okay.
And the 2008 machine is going to Purple Wave or however
No, it'll be sold to the vendor.
sold to the vendor? Okay.
Now, is that the absolute oldest machine in our fleet, including environmental?
Environmentals is the same age machine.
Okay.
Environmental's machine is better than this machine we be
Okay.
dispensing. There have been more repairs more recently to the machine that we gave to environmental last year.
Okay. And there's no, and by dispensing this, we're going to be maintaining, we're not actually going to be expanding the number of graders,
Yes, sir.
even though we have approved an expansion of the number of operators.
Yes, sir. We'll be purchasing a new grader after the first of the year with funds set aside in the budgeting process.
Okay, so this is a previously accounted for that a grader that was coming up this year anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And also, Brennan, maybe explain to the public, because I've been getting some phone calls on that we had talked about, there's 2-3 graders sitting in their lot, so.
Correct. So there's 2 auxiliary machines that the county currently has. Those machines are used when a patrolman's territory patrolman's blade is down for an extended period of time for larger repairs or for extended services. We also use those machines. That's their end-all be-all. That's what we need them for. We use them also on projects as project machines. So that way the territory graders, if we get rain in the middle of a project, territory graders don't have to bring their machine back to their territory to work in their territories. And we have the floating HEOs that are making rock in the pits. They operate those on projects. And then during snow times, we have almost 1,400 miles of roadway. Those graders are out plowing snow as well without a specific territory that they're responsible for. We send them on routes that need the help on it.
Okay.
So, and then the reason why there's been 2 or 3 sitting in the yard here recently is we've had some people take time off, and then we've also still doing our asphalt work, which involves almost the entirety of the staff out there, even the rural patrolmen. So there are a few graders that are run out of the current shop, and those people are on other pieces of equipment for the asphalt season.
Okay.
Okay.
Just one of those right now is they're running the flag for on Old 40, and the other grader that's parked in the yard and run out of our current yard is in a truck right now bringing material for this scrub seal on Old 40 Highway. So that's why those machines are there.
Okay.
All right. I move to approve PO 7834 to purchase one 2024 Caterpillar grader from Foley Equipment.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion's approved. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, Brennan.
Okay. Make sure I'm on the right page. Next, we have Public Works change orders.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darren Myers, County Administrator. The Public Works building is coming along. As of last week, they were grinding the floors in the office area to get ready for flooring. I believe they're staining the concrete, and they were painting the walls as well as hanging the ceiling grid tiles in the facility. So they are getting closer and closer, and they are still hoping for us to take occupancy towards the November 1st timeframe. So we're only about 2 months away, which seems pretty quick. But with that, just 2 quick change orders that we've somewhat previously discussed at a prior commission meeting. The first one being the signs on the exterior of the building. The original plan had signs or letters on the exterior part of the building that were 12 inches tall, and at the meeting we discussed that they might not be quite tall enough to be able to see from a farther distance away since it's offset from the road. So we had the contractor increase those from 12 to 18 inches, and then in between the 2 departments we had a sign created, or proposal for a sign to be created that is 5 foot by 5 foot for the Ellis County logo with a light on it. It's a kind of the cheaper option besides having a lighted sign. It's just a aluminum panel sign with the logo on it and then a light shining upon it. So that way it's cheaper in that price. The other change order is for multiple things within the building over the last couple months to come to a head. One of them is for the backer panels that were required to install the liner panel, metal liner panel on the walls. The plans just showed the studs, the vertical studs, and then they needed vertical bracing in between the studs to attach the metal panel to. The second part of that change order was to change the tracks on the garage doors. The tracks were designed to go at a certain angle that left, when opened, the garage doors too close to the radiant tube heaters. So the garage door company had to come back and readjust those track levels to keep the garage doors farther away from the heaters. The last piece was a change that was, well, not really a change, something that was found to be omitted from the drawings and the plans that was not bid on was to have Den's glass and a material on the walls over top of the basically exterior plywood sheetrock to better waterproof the wash bay. So on the east and the west walls of the wash bay where the garage doors are, the proposal here is to add liner panel to the walls to the height of the garage doors. And we had one proposal from this a while ago that took it all the way up to the skylights or windows above that. That was about $3,000 more. But then with some of the comments from the commissioners, I talked to the contractor about possibly taking that all the way to the ceiling. And the contractor suggests we just go to the top of the garage door, because if we were either go up to the window or go all the way to the ceiling, we would have to do all the flashing and everything from all the windows that are already in place, which would significantly increase the cost, as well as then if you go all the way to the ceiling in regards to maybe like condensation or overspray, the ceiling is just the plastic liner on a typical inside of a metal building. So if that's the case, to go fully extreme with it, to keep it waterproof, we'd have to completely do the ceiling. So then we're talking about, well, we didn't get a price, but you could just imagine that price would start soaring. So PwC suggests we just have this liner panel go up to the top of the garage doors to help with the overspray whenever there's a vehicle in the wash bay, a piece of equipment, so that way at least 16 foot up, unless somebody completely turns around and shoots up water into a corner, they should be sufficiently covered. On the south wall of that bay, there's cinder block that goes all the way to the ceiling, and on the north wall, as well as the corners that cover the metal purlins, those go all the way to the ceiling as well for the liner panel. So it's just the east and west walls to the top of the garage door that part of it is referring to. But that's, I guess, a longer overview of the change orders than what you expected, but that's what change orders 9 and 10 are for. Any questions?
No, I think that was an oversight that we kind of maybe missed from the beginning on our design and build, so.
Correct. The metal strapping in between the vertical studs, that was just something that was just completely missed, so that way the metal paneling could be installed and attached properly. And then it's the same thing on the exterior, or the interior part of the east and west walls of the wash bay.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happens when people who don't build buildings all the time get involved in building buildings. So, okay. Well, any other comments or questions? Okay.
The only, and I guess I'll just give a quick heads up to the commission, the only outstanding other change order, so to speak, that's coming is, I would say it'd be very minimal. I would hope when they got in there and started actually physically seeing, the staff started physically seeing the layouts of the building, they had some changes of, before the sheetrock and everything was on the wall, some data drops and some electrical drops for where pieces of computers or copiers, and they were just moved a couple feet. So I don't see that being a big change order, but that's the only thing that PwC knows that's outstanding that should be coming to the commission anytime soon.
Okay, but those changes have already been performed, there just may be a cost adjustment associated with those?
Correct. I gave the contractor the okay to do it because I didn't want, it was easier and quicker for them to move everything before all the insulation and sheetrock was on the walls. So it was literally just a couple hours of work to move some of these instead of having to pull and do all the wiring or cut out sheetrock to move anything. That was the time to approve it. So with it being very minimal, I just told them to go ahead and get it done.
Okay. All right, well, with that, I move to approve change orders number 9 and 10 for the new Public Works facility.
I'll second it.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
One thing that will be coming for the commission too is, if you remember, as part of the whole entire project, we had a $20,000 allocation for the sign to the building that's along the 183 highway corridor, not actually on the building. Commercial sign is working on some proposals that they're supposed to be sending to PWC. That way, Public Works staff can try to see what some of the options are. Try to narrow it down on trying to stay something that's in that $20,000 range along 183, but can't just select anything you want. There's KDOT requirements on what type of sign and all that. So still working through that process, but I guess that will come to the commission eventually. But it's not really a change order unless we go above unless the commission wants something more elaborate that costs more than $20,000.
Okay. Very good. All right. Next, we have Fire Department PPE grant.
The county fire department applied for a grant with the Kansas Forestry Service for the Volunteer Fire Assistance Grant. And we were successful once again to purchase 13 sets of wildland fire gear. That quote was for $10,161. The max that the Forestry Service will grant is $4,999. So essentially it's about a 50-50 grant for that piece of equipment, or for that wildland gear. I just wanted to make sure that the commission was okay with accepting that grant before we proceeded in ordering the gear.
This is a similar grant that we've gotten last year as well.
Correct. Knock on wood, I've applied for it every year, I think over like the last 7 or 8 years, and we've gotten it for various pieces of equipment. One year we purchased a bumper turret nozzle to go on a grass truck over in Ellis. Last year was a mix with also the state fire marshal had a grant, wildland gear, boots and helmets. So it's for various different pieces of equipment over the years, but this year we just did 13 more sets of gear to hopefully get 100% of all the firefighters having that separate set of wildland gear, which is safer for them. It's if you normally see a picture of a firefighter, they're wearing full structural bunker gear, which protects you in a lot higher heat environments. This wildland gear is dual certified for rescue and wildfire purposes, so it's a lot lighter, easier to move in, so that way firefighters aren't getting overheated, overexerted, and collapse or have any type of medical issues, and helps them quite a bit. So that's why we have this second set of gear. Plus this set of gear is about a third of the price of structural gear, so it allows that structural gear to be not used as often, and we get to be able to keep it longer. And then also we get the grant to help pay for it, so that helps. The Kansas State Firefighters Association has they got a SAFER grant, which is a federal FEMA grant for several $1 million. And we are hoping in January, just because it's a large expense, we can get reimbursed up to 100% of structural gear, up to $3,000 a set. But they all have to be for firefighters that have started after like November of 2023. So we've got that list put together, and then come December, we'll have the state contract, the winner of that bid, because they work with these grants. They'll come out and size those 13 or so, or those 10 individuals, and then we'll do that after the first of the year, because that gear, as you can, 10,000 times $3,000 a piece is 30,000. That's a significant chunk to order and encumber now, and then if we don't get reimbursed by the end of the year, we most likely would be over budget. So we'll start that process and order those in January.
Would you mind putting that up there so the public can see, please?
Sorry. Spoke too fast.
Anybody's watching? No, you're fine. That way everybody can.
But going back to the wildland gear, it's about $10,100. The fire department portion would be about $5,100 after we get the equipment and the shipping costs are included.
Okay. Any questions?
No, just keep everybody safe. That will do it. So, thanks for doing that, Darren.
Okay. Thank you, Darren. right. Next, we have a City of Ellis letter of support.
Yeah. City of Ellis contacted me on a grant request that they're doing, a KDOT grant. I think it's similar to the one that we're applying for ourselves, but they're doing a West Second Street project. They've budgeted for one block already for themselves, so with this grant, they're hoping if they were to receive the grant, then they would proceed to do 2 blocks, double the amount of feet that they're doing for their project. So I didn't see an issue. I think it's supportive of the county, to support Ellis to get, road projects anywhere good for the county, and it's in right there off Interstate where they're kind of developing a little bit of their retail space, so I think it's worthwhile. On the agenda, it shows financial impact. There is no financial impact.
Yeah, I think I saved that from the previous agenda item and just didn't delete the financial impact. I apologize.
So if the rest of the commissioners are okay with that, there is a letter of support that I drafted to send to them for their application.
Okay.
I'm good.
I
I'm
have no
good
problem
with
with
it.
that.
Yep. Any improvement we can do and help out?
Yep. So we're already working with the City of Hayes, so look forward to working with the City of Ellis. Okay. With that, and it's not on our agenda, I guess I could have added it earlier, but I was contacted again by Darren and Kendall Krug with the Aries. They are requesting us if we would send another letter of support to another firm. Is that Hanson?
Pat Schmidt Foundation.
The
It'd
Pat
be
Schmidt Foundation. Okay.
Schmidt Foundation, correct?
But they're asking if we would sign another letter of support as well.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
That's
Get it
fine.
done. Anything that'll help?
okay. All right. Well, we will get that signed and sent out.
The commission is okay. I was having, I got pulled away, but my computer wasn't printing to the printer. So after the meeting is over, I'll try it again with the help of IT and see if we can get them printed and have you sign them each before you leave.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, with that, County Administrator report. Darren?
No report this morning?
Okay. County Commissioner reports.
I don't have anything this time.
Mr. Younger?
Yes, I did go attend, which was really good when I was there. Sarah was there with Dr. Worth, a local young man taking over Mr. Schmidt's eye care. He's got a family, and they stayed in the community, which is very good. Then I also did go and have, I don't know, probably 20, 30-minute talk with the weed department last week, and there was some good conversation going there. And then also I did talk with Brandon on some different projects also, and out on my campaign thing, I seen quite a few of the different, whether it's mower, blade operator, whatever, and I know I got into one of them's lunch hour, but he didn't mind, and he wanted me to ride with him, and I said, I'm supposed to sit on your lap, but anyhow, had a good talk with him, nice young man. And then also, excuse me, Dave Willman, wish him a happy birthday today. So that's all I have.
Okay. I have no report at this time. So, next we'll be moving into executive session.
Okay, I make a motion to move the Board of Commissioners recess for an executive session for 30 minutes under the following exception to the Kansas Open Meeting Act pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter exception. The subject to be discussed during the executive session is personnel matter. Those attending, all 3 commissioners, Jennifer, Mr. Bill Jeter, and Darren Myers.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, I said 35, so.
You did.
Well, as soon as it hits 35, we'll go ahead. Okay. Okay. Executive, no decisions were reached during the executive session. Meeting is adjourned at 9:35.